Welcome to Furious Toys. For this spooky, scary skeleton holiday season, I wanted to take a look at a few different skeleton options. Getting into it, the first one we'll take a look at here is the Yokai Bone Brawler from the Fwoosh. Inside we got 6 skull options and a bonus jack-o'-lantern head option, as well as 3 right-hand options and 3 left-hand options. The left side of the box just has a window into the skulls. The right side just says Bone Brawler, Fwoosh Toys, and their socials. To the rear we have a posed picture of the Yokai skeleton. On the top it just says Yokai, and on the bottom it just has legalese and the barcode. Up next we'll take a look at the Mythic Legion skeleton builder from the Four Horsemen. On the back there's information on the history of the skeleton Legion builder. On the left side here we've got a bio of the skeleton Legion builder. And on the right hand side we got the sigil of the Congregation of Necronominus. On the top we just got a clear view of the top of his dome. On the bottom we just got the standard legalese and the barcode. The last package that we'll dig through is the premium DNA Battletoads Rat Bones figures. The outside of the package is a slipcover, and on the front there is a nuclear version of the Battletoads logo. Top of the slipcover is just the plain pattern background. The bottom of the package is just the barcode and the warning label. On the front of the box without the slipcover, we got a window that just has a view of the 2 Rat Bones figures as well as their shields. On the back it states that these figures glow in the dark and they're from the Battletoads brand. On the left side of the box it shows other figures in the line and that General Slaughter looks absolutely massive. On the right side we just got some 8-bit depictions of the characters. The top of the box has just the same background pattern and the Battletoads logo. Let's peep the Mythic Legions first. Nice little bag of accessories and goodies. First off, we have a typical standard sword. Next up, we have a shield. It's got a peg. Now we have a belt or shoulder harness. Here we have 2 fist hands, maybe grip hands. Here we have 2 loose grip hands. Here we have 2 death pointer fingers. Here we have the handle for the shield. Get this to peg on right here. Snug fit. Set that to the side. Next up we got the generic spear. This probably fits into the tight grip hand. Okay, onto the meat and potatoes. Well, no meat. Despite the massively proportioned bones, this guy looks pretty freaking sweet. On the head, we got 360-degree rotation at the top of the neck, where the neck beats the skull. Jaw opens that far. Seems like there's no bend in the spine. Shoulder's a little stuck. Shoulder's loosened up. Shoulder can go up that far. 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. Single jointed elbow that rotates. Rotation at the wrist, out that far, in that far, not very far. Okay, there is some motion at the spine. There's a ball joint where the rib cage meets the spine. At the hip, the leg swings up that far, has 360-degree rotation, single jointed knee. There's a ball joint at the ankle. Toes point down that far, up that far, 360-degree rotation at the ankle. Up next, let's dig into this Yokai Bone Brawler from Fwoosh Toys. Quick look, there's a bunch of goodies to get to. First off, let's take a look at this jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head. Paint looks pretty sweet. For the first non-pumpkin head, we got a skeleton that's looking pretty angry. Next up, we got the demon skull. It's got vampire fangs, tusks, horns, and an articulated jaw. Here we have the cursed head. It looks like he's got a scroll in his mouth and something jammed into his eye sockets. Something carved into his forehead. scroll pops out, jaw moves. I'm going to call this the Brad skull because check out the big brain on Brad. This one does not have an articulated jaw. This skull looks like it's just the standard head, also without an articulated jaw. First set of hands here we have are the open palmed relaxed hands. Next we have the dagger and the long sword. Both have pretty good looking silver paint on them. Nice detail in those handles. These hands look like tight grip hands. I love the detail on this guy. I love the paint job. This head must be the screaming head. It has a movable jaw. Looks like there is 2 points of articulation in the neck, 2 ball joints with pegs, one at the base of the skull and one at the base of the neck. Full 360-degree rotation at the neck. Shoulder has a wide range of motion. It does 360 there, goes out that far. Single jointed elbow, ball joint at the wrist. Elbow only folds up that far. Wrist folds outward that far and inward that far. Like the neck, there are 2 points of articulation on the lower spine here, one at the base of the spine and one at the base of the rib cage. Gives him a wide range of motion. There is 360-degree rotation at the base of the rib cage and another 360 rotation at the base of the spine. The hip joint swings out that far, has a full 360-degree rotation. Single joint, ball joint at the knee. Down here at the ankle, there's another ball joint. Toes point down that far, point up that far. There is a forward-facing pin for ankle rocker. All right, on to the one that I've all been waiting for. Looking at the rat bones here, he looks pretty nice. It looks like the base plastic is molded in green with paint over the top. That one in the background, we'll take a look at this blue one. Alright, let's look at this beast. Looks like there's full 360-degree rotation at the ball joint at the base of his neck. There's another larger ball joint there at the base of the skull. It's a tight fit. Get that loose without breaking it. There we go. A little bit nervous. Alright, shoulder swings out that far. Full 360-degree rotation at the shoulder. Not a lot of clearance at the elbow there. We'll just rotate that away. Oh, that doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right at all. Alright, I twisted off that arm because there is no rotation at that elbow. He doesn't have health insurance, so he gets a zip tie cast. Alright, let's try this again. Shoulder rotation, 360. Swings out that far, and the elbow bends up that far and down that far. And there is rotation right here. Wrist bends down that far and up that far. But there's no rotation at this point because it just keys in there. It's kind of a weird setup. I don't like it. I don't think I'm out of line for assuming there would be rotation there. Alright, this guy's spine is just like the other guy's spine. Ball joint at the base of the rib cage and one at the base of the spine. This allows for this acrobatic feat. Alright, let's take a look at these legs. Let me move this busted wing out of the way. There is 360-degree rotation at the hip joint. There is rotation at the bottom of the ball joint on the hip. Single knee joint. Foot tilts up that far with this ball joint. Where it's plugged in here, it doesn't seem to want to rotate, and I'm afraid to. Alright, let's take a look at this tail articulation. That wasn't necessary on the other two guys. Oh look, there's rotation at 2 parts of the tail, but they couldn't get them in the elbow. Getting the ruler back here, we see that the Yokai Bone Brawler skeleton stands just at 6 1/4 inches. Over here on the Legion skeleton builder from Mythic Legions, he stands at 6 3/4 inches. Last but not least, the big rat beast stands at just about 8 inches. First up, we have the Epic Hacks Barbarian Skeleton, followed by the Epic Hacks Pirate Skeleton, and finally the Epic Hacks Grim Spectre Skeleton. Here we have a couple of Kyoto skeletons that I picked up from a Comic-Con at some point in time. They are smaller and more fragile than the Fwoosh skeleton there, but they have the same color scheme. Here we have the opposable skeleton that was provided by Home Depot and Walmart. It seems to have similar proportions to the Mythic Legion skeleton back there. One of my favorite skeletons here, we have the Golden Axe Storm Collectibles Black Skeleton. Here is Scareglow from the Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse series. Up next, we got Peelybone from McFarlane Toys from the Fortnite series. I love this little guy here. We got the NECA Turtles in Time TMNT glow-in-the-dark shell shock turtle. Not exactly a skeleton, but it's skeleton adjacent. Also skeleton adjacent, we've got this McFarlane Toys Fortnite Skull Trooper figure. Finishing up, we have Brother Mandibulus and Keltis from the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions line. And last but not least, we have the Headless Horseman from the Figura Obscura line by the Four Horsemen. Ichabod Crane. Overall, I really dig all these guys. I really enjoy the Fwoosh skeleton. He looks pretty sweet. The Mythic Legion skeleton is pretty great as well, but he's a little bit big boned. These rat bone figures are my first from Premium DNA, and I'm really looking forward to getting the Earthworm Gem figures. I just don't understand why that elbow has no rotation. I really enjoy all the head options for the Fwoosh skeleton. I did get extras of those so I could have a skeleton army if I so chose to do so. If you want to give me a follow on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, I plan on uploading shorts at some point in time in the near future. I really do appreciate anybody that sticks with me all the way through to the end on these videos. I do enjoy making them, but I don't get an awful lot of time to make them, so I do what I can when I can. If anybody has some constructive criticism they want to throw my way, I would appreciate any criticisms and or ideas. If you know anybody that would enjoy these videos, share it with them, give me a like, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. I really enjoy taking looks at different figures by different companies that have the same kind of idea behind them, or even the same character put out by different companies. Thank you for joining me here, and I will see you again at Tofurious Toys.